3, 2, 1.
The Peanut Butter Falcon. This was written and directed by Tyler Nielsen and stars Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Johnson, and Zach Gagsagan. And also has John Hawkes in it as well. So what is the Peanut Butter Falcon all about? Well, we have Zach, who wants to be a professional wrestler. He has his old VHS tape. He puts in every day just to watch this commercial about this wrestling school.
Come to my wrestling school and become a badass.
That's what he wants to do with the rest of his life.
Yes, it is.
So he decides to escape his care facility, and he's on the road, off to be a wrestler. And he winds up meeting up with this other guy, Tyler, played by Shia LaBeouf. Now Tyler, he's also on the run. He's on the run from John Hawkes because he owes him some money, but Tyler's also running from his past. And they form this kind of unlikely friendship, and Tyler decides to help Zach get to Aiden. That's where this wrestling school is.
So the wrestling school's in Aiden?
Yes.
One long road leads all the way down. I'll drop you there.
And Dakota Johnson, who plays Eleanor, she's kind of the caregiver, so she's off to find Zach.
I'm looking for a missing person. Have you seen him?
Pretty much the gist of the Peanut Butter Falcon, but there's so much more here. The second that Gagsagan is on the screen, the movie starts off with him with the smirk on his face. And man, from that moment on, I was hooked. And you could tell it was just something about him. Everyone's great. This is by far Shia LaBeouf's best performance. I think by far Dakota Johnson's best performance. But Zach Gagsagan, he steals it.
I'm going to give you all of my wishes for my birthday.
So this is kind of a buddy film, but there's so much more to that. Especially how to deal with the disability. Zach's self-aware he has Down syndrome. And even from the beginning, where he was staying was an old folks home. It was assisted living because the state didn't know what to do with him. He didn't have any family or friends that can take care of him, so they said, okay, we'll just place him here and we'll feed him 3 times a day, give him a place to sleep, and that's it. Not caring about what he wanted to do with his dreams or what kind of person he wanted to be. And it really touches on that so well. But what really separates this film is 2 conversations that happened about Zach's disability. One between Tyler and Zach about what kind of wrestler he wants to be. And I'm going to be vague about this because I don't want to give it away because it's so profound. They had this conversation about his limitations, or what Zach thinks his limitations are because he has Down syndrome. Then there's a conversation later in the film that happens between Tyler and Eleanor, how we speak to them and how we treat people with disabilities. And they also touch on the word retard, a word that's kind of, it's harsh. It's a word that we need to remove from our vernacular. It's a demeaning word, but unfortunately, people use it, and in a mean way. And they deal with a situation like that was so well done. Peanut Butter Falcon is one of the best films of the year. If, you're not into the Joker this weekend, or you're not a Downton Abbey fan, you're looking for something different, and the Peanut Butter Falcon's playing, it's a limited release. It was out for a while, and it just so happened to pop up in a theater near me. I went to see it, and I'm so glad I did. Take a chance on it. I know the title's kind of odd, and if you watch the trailer, it'll explain the title, and it makes sense. But this kind of reminds me of Shawshank Redemption. And I know, pump the brakes. Shawshank Redemption is a classic film. It's got a 25-year head start. But when Shawshank Redemption first came out in the theaters, it didn't do anything. No one understood the name. They couldn't pronounce the title. And it just didn't do well at all. And then the Oscars came around, and they got some Oscar nominations, and people were like, wow, okay, maybe we need to see this film. I see the Peanut Butter Falcon with that possibility where it's going to kind of come and go, and then later on, more and more people are going to see it, and word of mouth is going to see it. I don't know if this is going to get any Oscar nominations. I think it should. I think if the Oscars have the ability of nominating 10 Best Pictures, this has to be in the top 10. It's a fantastic movie. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an Oscar nomination for Shia, Dakota, or Zach, especially Zach Gagsagan. Wow, man, what a great job. Now, is this a perfect movie? No, of course not. It's a bit quirky. There is something that happens towards the end that, I don't know what the word is, exaggerated, maybe over the top. It's something that happens physically. I was like, okay, that's one way to go. I didn't see that coming. But then a couple days after, I thought, well, so maybe we're seeing it how they're seeing it, what they're seeing in their mind, what they're doing, and that's what the director gave us. I thought that would have been pretty cool. It doesn't take away from the film. It was just kind of, I don't want to say misplaced, but it was like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing that. But yeah, this will make you smile from beginning to end. John Hawkes, there is kind of an antagonist. He's kind of quote unquote the bad guy. He's chasing down Tyler because he owes him money, and there's a confrontation. It's pretty intense. It'll kick you in the feels. It's going to make you laugh a lot more than you think. I laughed a lot more than I thought about in this movie.
Rule number 1, don't slow me down. Rule number 2, I'm in charge. Hey, what's rule number 1?
Party.
No, not party.
But man, the bond between Tyler and Zach is just amazing, and the way they travel through, and the experiences they have, and the bond they quickly they form is just, this is just a really good movie, man. So I highly recommend the Peanut Butter Falcon. All right, that's it for Color Positive Movies right now. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. That'd be fantastic. Also, support indie films. All right, I have a few videos about how to support indie films and other smaller films that I spotlight. Definitely check those out. And until next time.
Perfect.